When I saw you standing there, beautiful eyes and long brown hair, your smile was so inviting. I thought I might just take.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to our show, Keeping It Real. This is the show that focuses on everyday people with interesting life experiences. I'm your host, Dennis Aloia, and we had a great first show last week. We got a lot of email response from that first show from all over the country, and I'll be reading some of those emails later in this segment. I also want to welcome our business partners. That would be HarmonyBooking.com and AmericanHeartsRadio.com. They're a big part of making this show available to folks all over the country and really talking it up about us. This show consists of three segments. The first segment is called Everyday Heroes. That's a segment where I will interview a veteran or an active duty military person or a first responder, such as a police officer, EMT, or even a teacher. Now, I think these folks are the everyday heroes, and these folks are the kind of people that our young people ought to be looking up to, rather than some of these Hollywood celebrities that are very controversial, and some of these entertainers that are sports heroes, alleged heroes. I really think that the people I mentioned previously are the people that we should encourage our young people to look up to. The second segment is called Old School in Business. This is where I will interview a seasoned citizen rather than a senior citizen with an interesting life experience. And some weeks I may interview a business person with a very interesting business. So we're going to kind of switch them back and forth depending on the availability of the different folks that I have in mind to bring to you. The next segment and the last segment is called the Independent Artist segment. And that's a segment where I will have a lot of fun, and I'm sure you will, in seeing a performer. Someone that's not necessarily known nationwide, but after this show they will be, hopefully. I had a comedian on last week, Mr. Daryl Rhodes, who was absolutely hysterically funny. Every time I watch that show in the archives, I still laugh just as hard. And this week I've got a fabulous world-class magician coming on in the last segment of the show, Mr. Dan Garrett. I really wanted to read some emails because it enables me to see where we are impacting people out there, and I'd like to just read three of them to you. Dennis, I really enjoyed the show. Congratulations. It was like a breath of fresh air, and you came across as being relaxed and confident without being overly so. Your guests were varied and interesting, especially Daryl Rhodes. I laughed out loud. I wish you and your crew continued success and will watch whenever I can. Tom Sherman. Thank you, Tom, ex-Navy veteran. We appreciate your service. The next one is, all in all, you did a great show. When is Daryl Rhodes going to be back? I'm still laughing. Tammy Logan. Tammy, I think Daryl needs his own show. He was that popular last week. He may, in fact, get his own show at some point. Another email from John Abbott. It looked like you were having a great time with your guests, and I appreciate you mentioning our military veterans. That's a big part of our focus here. We want to be also known as the internet home of the $20 television ad. We try to make our ads extremely affordable for everyone out there. If you have a business or a product that you want to get out there in the public, we have a global network of people that are going to be watching, and you never know who's watching the show and would have a need for your product or your service. You can go to HarmonyBooking.com and view our ad information. And we would appreciate you taking a look at that. Now, also, I might mention, previously I said that we have another business relationship with American Hearts Radio. For an extra few dollars, literally just a few more dollars, you could have your ad go on the internet radio as well. So you'd have television and internet radio exposure for about $30 an ad. That's on the low end. Of course, we have any kind of ad that we can help you create. If you're not that creative, we have a person involved in videography. We can even produce a video ad for your company. So please consider it, because this is the wave of the future, folks. And you won't see ads this cheap anywhere, guaranteed. I'd like to give some shout-outs to some very important people in my life. After last week's show, I became a grandfather again, and I'm very happy to introduce to the world Miss Lillian Grace Johnson. Came into the world at 6 pounds 7 ounces after my show last week. Congratulations to her parents, Alyssa and Kevin. I hope you guys are watching out there. Also, Mr. Earl Hayes with American Hearts Radio. Earl is the founding member of that radio show, He's done a fantastic job. He's enthusiastic. He makes it fun. It's a good family-oriented type show where your kids can listen to it as well. And he plays some great music. I was listening to the show the other night, and he was really rocking. I mean, I really enjoyed the oldies, because I'm an oldie, obviously, but he plays a little bit of everything. Also wanted to recognize the V-SPAN TV network. That's the Veterans Television Network out of Chicago. And they do a lot with making veterans informed on different things that are available out there for them. They're trying to do a lot of benefits to raise awareness for veterans' needs, especially with our folks coming home from the Afghanistan experience. We're going to need to help these guys more than ever before. Wanted to say hello to all my family and friends out there, of course. You all know who you are. Last week, I had mentioned 3 gentlemen that are my personal friends, and they served cumulatively in the Army, the Navy, and the Coast Guard. Well, I heard from another friend who served in the Air Force, and he said, "You forgot me." So, Tom, friend, thanks for your Air Force service, buddy. We appreciate it. And also, I didn't mention a Marine, but my nephew, Richie Aloia in Las Vegas, served in the Marine Corps. Thanks for your service, Rich. Great job. Now that we're talking about the military, I wanted to make mention of Sergeant Bo Bergdahl. He is a POW currently in Afghanistan. He was captured by the Taliban, I believe 1,120 some days ago, to be exact. 1,134 days ago. I'm sorry, I'll correct myself. He's the only American POW in Afghanistan. He was captured by the Taliban, as I mentioned. Please go to the www.supportbo.org website to register your support for this young man and make sure that he will not be forgotten. And we're going to bring his name up as often as we possibly can. I introduced a little segment last week that I kind of liked a lot and got some good feedback on. It's called I Love This Story. So this is a true story. I've checked it out, and I'd like to read it to you for just a few moments. A Minnesota man and his friend went duck hunting in the winter, and of course all the lakes were frozen. These 2 guys go out on the lake with their guns, a dog, and of course a brand new Lincoln Navigator vehicle. They drive out onto the lake ice and get ready. Now they want to make some kind of a natural landing area for the ducks and their decoys. In order to make the hole large enough to look like something a wandering duck would fly down and land on, they saw that it would take a little more than drilling a little hole in the ice. So out of the back of the new Lincoln Navigator comes a stick of dynamite with a 40-second fuse. Now these 2 rocket scientists do take into consideration that they want to place the stick of dynamite at a location far from where they are standing and from the new Navigator truck. And they don't want to take the risk of slipping on the ice when they run from the lit dynamite fuse and possibly go up in smoke with the resulting blast. They light the 40-second fuse and throw the dynamite as far away as they can. Now remember a couple of sentences back when I mentioned the vehicle, the guns, and the dog? Let's talk about the dog for a moment. The dog is a highly trained Labrador retriever, especially well trained at retrieving things thrown by his owner. You guessed it, the dog takes off at a high rate of speed across the ice and captures that stick of dynamite with the burning 40-second fuse. The 2 men yell, scream, wave their arms, and wonder what to do now. The dog, cheered on, keeps coming. One of the guys grabs a shotgun and shoots the poor dog. The shotgun is loaded with number 8 birdshot, hardly enough to stop the dog, and he keeps on coming. He stops for a moment and continues on. Another shot, and this time the dog, still standing, becomes really confused and, of course, very terrified, thinking these 2 geniuses have gone insane. The dog takes off to find cover under the new Navigator truck. The men continue to yell as they run away. The exhaust pipe on the truck is still hot, so the dog yelps and drops the dynamite under the truck and takes off after his master. Then, kaboom! The truck is blown to bits and sinks to the bottom of the lake in a very large hole, leaving these 2 idiots standing there with the "I can't believe this happened" look on their faces. The insurance company says that sinking a vehicle in a lake by illegal use of explosive is not covered. He still has yet to make the first $560 payment on his new Lincoln Navigator. And you thought your day was not going well. I love those kind of stories. Thank you. Get a thundering applause from the audience back here on that one. Folks, if you enjoyed that, let me know, because I kind of like that segment, and I like to search out interesting little tidbits of information that we all become better off from reading. I wanted to mention something. We're going to be going to commercial here in just a couple of minutes, but I want to give a shout out to a band called American Hawk. There's a young man named Bobby Rotundo who is the leader of the band up in New Jersey. Hello out there, Bobby. Good talking to you the other day. And I happened to go on our website at harmonybooking.com, and his band was featured. And I popped it up, listened to the music, and was absolutely blown away by this one piece. It's a patriotic rendition, and the name of it is These Colors Are Mine. I'm going to continue to use this particular song as my lead-in to my first guest, which is going to be in my Everyday Hero segment. It'll be right after the first commercial, during our first break here in about 3 minutes. So I encourage you all to take a good look at this. Let me know what you think of the song. You'd love to get some feedback. They've got a new album they just produced, as I understand it, and this song is on that album. Also, go to harmonybooking.com, and you'll see under entertainers, variety entertainment, comedians. We have it all, folks. If you have an event coming up, it doesn't matter how big or how small, we can certainly fill it with a highly talented group or individual of any kind of genre that you can possibly think of. So I think right now we're going to take a short 3-minute commercial break. We'll be back with our first guest in just a few moments, and enjoy These Colors Are Mine by American Hawk.
It's time for Daddy to make some funny.
Yeah, we got all of this at Walmart. The decorations, the tablecloths, all of the food. And we even saved enough money for for the clown outfit.
Unbeatable prices, backed by our price match guarantee. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Well, I gave 3 years to my country and a few more in reserves. Gave me back all that I needed, maybe more than I deserved. But now I hear a rumbling, people trying to tear us down. Well, it's time to stand up tall and never give an inch of ground. 'Cause these colors stand up, and these colors will fight. And if you don't believe in that, well, it's your right. Well, these colors won't fade, and these colors will fly. I'll wave this freedom flag each day until I die. These colors are mine. These colors are mine. To all you sons and daughters shipping out now everywhere, each day we're thinking about you. Every night you're in our prayers. To the ships in angry waters, cutting through the highest waves, Godspeed to you and courage from the home of the brave. 'Cause these colors stand up, and these colors will fight. And if you don't believe in that, well, it's your right. Well, these colors won't fade, and these colors will fly. I'll wave this freedom flag each day until I die. These colors are mine. Well, these colors are mine. I know by God that I will see you once again. I'll search the world until I come to the end. These colors stand up, and these colors will fight. And if you don't believe in that, well, it's your right. these colors will fly. I'll wave this freedom flag each day until I die. And these colors won't run, no, these colors won't hide. And America will stay free for all time. These colors are mine. Yeah, these colors are mine. These colors are mine. These colors are mine.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. I've got, right now I'm looking at about 66 people out there chatting live, and I want to thank you very much. I read your chats. I can't read them all back because that would take too much time, but thanks to Justin, Jill and Ken, Mike, Barbara. I see your chats. Thank you very much, and I appreciate that. If you want to email me, you can email me at harmonybooking.com, you could just please give your comments about the show and let us know where you're watching from, okay? It's actually harmonybooking at, I believe, gmail.com. Now, I want to introduce to you a fellow that I have known for a while. This is Mr. Dan Spiker. Dan is a retired 20-year Air Force veteran. He was a police officer in the Air Force Security Service. He retired after 20 years with the rank of Technical Sergeant. He has served all over the world in places like Texas, New Mexico, Hawaii, South Korea, Kuwait, and he has been serving our country for a very, very long time in one form or another. He retired from the Air Force down in Florida, and he stayed retired exactly one day. And then he became an Okaloosa County Sheriff's Deputy, and that's down in the Destin, Fort Walton Beach area. After that, he stayed on that job down there as a deputy sheriff for about 6 years. He got married to my stepdaughter, so he is my son-in-law, and they moved up here to Atlanta to be close to us, thank goodness, because it saved us a whole bunch of money on gas. And he joined the Cobb County Police Department, which is a very large, I think it's the largest county department in metro Atlanta, and he's been serving there for the last 6 years. So, Dan, have I got it about right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So you've been serving your country as a Air Force person in security as well as a police officer.
Yeah, I was a
Wow.
law enforcement officer in the security police of the Air Force, and got out one day and started my civilian law enforcement career.
So you don't believe in an early retirement, obviously.
No. I was only 38 when I retired from the Air Force.
Wow, that's impressive. Let me ask you a question. You've been a police officer for 12 and a half years. Tell me one of your funny experiences out there, stopping people in the middle of the night and that sort of thing. Does anything strike you or come to mind?
There's been so many.
So many, it's hard to choose from.
It's hard to catalog them at this point. I've joked with people that I should have started writing memoirs back when I first started this job, and just kept it up to,
right,
because it would have been probably a bestseller by now.
I'm sure. Many years ago in another life, I was also a police officer, but I won't go there because that's not part of this show. But everybody used to ask me, and I'm sure they ask you, is there a quota for tickets? There was never a quota where I...
No. In my police department that I'm working in, there's no quota.
I mean, I see so many crazy drivers out there every day. What's the point of a quota? I mean, you just kind of cast your net and they're going to come into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As far as your Air Force service, what was your favorite place to serve and why? And I think I know the answer, if I were to venture a guess.
Okay, what do you think it was?
I don't think it was Kuwait.
No. I actually tried to take something positive from everywhere that I had served.
Yeah.
Actually, Kuwait City, the conditions of that place was probably not the best in the world.
Right.
But actually, I enjoyed Korea, the Republic of South Korea, and a lot of the stateside places, Florida, New Mexico. They were all had something positive to them. So.
Well, when you served in New Mexico, did you see any aliens?
No.
I always wondered about that. You know, that whole area out there is kind of secretive. Area,
it's
Area
very
51
spooky at
and
night, and some of the in the back part of the base that I was at, Kirtland Air Force Base.
See some strange lights up there in the middle of the night. Yeah.
Heard stories, never actually saw anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, you served in Hawaii for a good number of years too, right?
5 years, yes.
That must have been the best duty going.
Hickam Air Force Base, that was a very nice assignment.
Yeah, I'm sure. Did you have like an 8-hour-a-day job, and then you got to go to your, the beach or whatever you wanted to do? Did you have normal shifts?
Pretty much normal shifts. I worked in the at that point, I started working in the investigation side of the security police field, and actually started working in joint drug enforcement team with the Air Force Office of Special Investigations. So my hours were during that 2-year stint were pretty long.
Yeah. I got to ask you a personal question, because I don't really know the answer to this. Where do we stand on immigration? I mean, at a local level, if you arrest someone and they are an illegal alien here from another country, what is the standard procedure now? Because you hear so many things about the Justice Department not prosecuting people or wanting to send them back to their home countries, and I just don't know where we're at on that. Or is that an unfair question to you here? Am I putting you on the spot?
I can tell you the best thing that I know is that when I arrest somebody that's basically not from this country,
right,
an illegal or whatever,
right,
they pretty much are, once I drop them off at the jail, they are pretty much basically looked at through the Homeland Security ICE type. So background check is done on them from what I've been told. That's kind of a little bit beyond what I do at this point. So.
Right. But I mean, they take over at some point, and then you're kind of out of the picture. You don't have to go to a court hearing or anything like that.
No. Okay.
All right. Well, I was going to ask you also about your experience in Korea. Did you ever get up to the DMZ? That's supposed to be a pretty scary place.
No, I never did go there. They usually had tours there that you could go to. It was very regimented on what you did when you went up there, but saw pictures and some videos and stuff of the DMZ, and it was actually I was kind of glad I didn't go up there.
Yeah, that was an interesting place to serve, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
There's I saw something on TV recently about the Koreans and a certain dish that they really like. It's kind of like the national dish, kimchi. It's made out of
they have
old cabbage or something.
Yeah,
is that right?
They have all different kinds of forms of kimchi, various varieties.
I think my wife made some of that the other night, and I didn't realize what I was eating. But I know she's chatting here. That's why I threw that out there. Did you ever eat any of that stuff?
I never acquired a taste for the kimchi, but there were a lot of other Korean meals that I really enjoyed. One of my favorites was what they called bulgogi and rice.
Bulgogi and rice,
which is like sliced up marinated beef strips and
it is beef.
Yeah, it's beef.
Okay, good. I've talked to folks that have been to Asia, and they've got some different tastes over there. To each his own, but there's a lot of things that I've heard about that I probably would not try. But it's all a matter of how you grow up and what your culture is. Everybody has their own thing, and that's great. That's what makes a great world, because we're all so different.
Yeah.
If everybody was the same, it wouldn't be any fun. You know it? It'd be kind of boring. Well, is there anybody that you'd like to say a shout out to out there tonight?
Yeah, I'd actually like to. First, you brought up somebody that's from the home state that I'm from, and actually is
Bo Bergdahl.
Yeah,
he's from Idaho.
He's from Idaho. I'm native of Pocatello, Idaho, so I'd like to say hi to all my family back in Idaho. My brother in Boise. I actually have another brother that's down in Texas, and a sister that's out in Soda Springs, Idaho, and her family. Love you all, miss you.
Oh, I'm looking at the chat here. My little line about the kimchi mystery food that I had the other night. My wife chats, not funny. I knew I'd get a rise out of her. Stay awake, dear. Watch all of the show now. It'll get better. Well, wow, man, I'll tell you what. These little segments go by quickly, don't they?
But I would like to say that my thoughts and prayers are with Bo and his family, and
we want to bring him home
for his safe return home.
Yep, soon. Definitely. American Hearts Radio, they're very, very big on promoting the awareness of Bo Bergdahl's plight. Mm-hmm. And folks, you can go on and listen to the radio station. It's a fantastic radio station, and you'll hear them talking about Bo Bergdahl and some of the benefits that they're trying to do, hopefully to bring him home and bring awareness to the senators and congressmen and people in the State Department that can really make it happen. That young man's been over there far too long, and we want to get him back, especially now that everybody else is being pulled out of Afghanistan. Well, Dan, I want to thank you for being my guest. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. And it's consider a real honor to be on your show.
My pleasure. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. We're going to take a short commercial break here, folks. Don't go away. I've got another great guest coming up, and we'll be right back. Take care.
You want to keep warm when you're feeling chilled, but you don't want to raise your heating bill. Blankets are okay, but they can slip and slide. And when you need to reach for something, your hands are trapped inside. Now, there's the Snuggie, the blanket that has sleeves. The Snuggie keeps you totally warm and gives you the freedom to use your hands. So now, you can work the remote or read a book in total warmth and comfort. Use your laptop without being cold, or enjoy a snack while staying snugly warm. Snuggie is made of ultra-soft, thick, luxurious fleece with oversized sleeves, so you can move your arms and use your hands and still be wrapped in warmth. Super large, one size fits all, so you can stay warm from head to toe. No more cold feet. And with Snuggie, you can get up and still stay warm. Perfect for men, women, and children, too. The ultra-soft fleece keeps you totally warm, and the sleeves keep your hands free. So you can snuggle your baby in your arms or keep your pet close at hand. Perfect for chilly outdoor evenings, staying cozy and warm at sporting events. And it's ideal for those drafty dorm rooms. The Snuggie is machine washable, so you'll get years of warmth and comfort. Now you can use your remote, enjoy a snack, talk on the phone, do what you need to, and stay totally warm with the Snuggie. Similar products sell for up to $60, but call now and you'll get the ultra-soft, ultra-warm Snuggie for only $14.95. Available in royal blue, sage green, and burgundy. As an added bonus, you'll also receive our compact press and open book light. Just press and the book light instantly opens and turns on for extra light where you need it. A $15 value free. Yes, you get the ultra-soft fleece Snuggie and our press and open book light. A $75 value, both for only $14.95.
To order, call 1-800-819-0658. Remember, you'll get the ultra-soft, ultra-warm Snuggie and the compact press and open book light for just $14.95 plus processing and handling. Call 1-800-819-0658.
Listen, we're having a lot of fun in Mexico. I love this hotel. It is so classy.
Yeah, the towels are so fluffy you can hardly fit them in your suitcase.
Come on, man. You gotta make these people laugh.
I don't need this. I got a day job.
Where do you work during the day?
Sears, stand in the window and go like this.
You okay?
It's your throat. Do what you want.
All right.
How you doing?
Who are you talking to?
I don't know. Who you got me looking at?
Justin, you don't go to Disney World. You don't see Mickey running around going, I'm not real, I'm not real.
He thinks $1 million a day. Better keep his mouth shut. You're lucky I'm here. You'd be talking to yourself. They'd lock you up. Yeah, say it without moving your lips.
Okay.
Hi, and welcome back, everyone. I'm looking at the chats. They're growing by the minute. We're over 150, I believe. I want to give a shout-out to Jill and Ken. No, I did not forget you guys. I mentioned you earlier in the show. Your memories are going bad. But anyway, thanks for watching, okay? Love you guys. My next guest is a gentleman named Mr. Ron Young. I met Ron about 3 years ago when I was performing in a production of the Georgia Senior Follies. Ron is a retired sort of fella, but he's currently a producer. And I wanted to start by asking Ron about his experiences during his working years. Ron, I know you lived in San Francisco for a very long time, and you were a consultant in mergers and acquisitions of large companies. Is that right?
Well, they were small companies, but it was mergers and acquisitions.
Okay.
It's all the same. I was not a Bain Capital company. But it was
where have I heard that name before?
Yeah,
Bain
right,
Capital. That rings a bell.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, have you got as much money as Mitt Romney?
I can't comment on that.
No, somebody from the IRS could be watching out there. We don't want to give anything away.
I have filed my tax returns for the last 10 years.
Well, that's great. I'm proud of you. You know, San Francisco is a city I've always wanted to visit. I've never really been there. I know it's kind of a quirky place, but it's a very interesting place, and you lived there for a good number of years, right?
27 years, yes.
Wow. And
you only hear about the quirky part. You don't hear about the normal part.
But tell us about the normal part of San Francisco. Is there a normal part? I mean, I'm sure there is. A lot of fun things to do, a lot of great restaurants.
To me, I probably had one of the best, maybe the best time of my life. I think I grew up there. I matured there anyway, if I consider myself mature these days. But
yeah,
every city that I've lived in has brought a new life
experience.
But in San Francisco, I got involved with the San Francisco Opera.
Mm-hmm.
It was my second theater involvement. Prior to that, it was like in high school.
Wow.
And so, it followed. I got a job with the San Francisco Opera. I was there 3 years, and I was a non-singing actor is what I was.
A non-singing actor.
Non-singing actor. And I got on stage with Placido Domingo, Jose Carreras, Luchino Pavarotti.
Did they make you wear one of those hats with the horns in the opera?
No, I wasn't the devil.
No, there's an opera where it's the, I wish I could, like the Germanic type opera. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Maybe Faust or something.
Faust, that's what it is, yes. Where the ladies and the gentlemen wear these big, huge horns and hats. But you weren't in something like that.
No, but I was in Aida, which is a huge blown-up thing. And we had a debate on whether to bring a real elephant on stage or not. And
wow.
We didn't. We had the stuffed thing that they built backstage. And
well, I don't want to give anything away, but our next guest is a magician coming up after you.
Oh, good.
He is actually going to disappear something live on this television show that almost is as big as an elephant. And that's all I'll say about it, because you folks just have to come back for the last segment.
Yes.
But I'm sorry, you continue about San Francisco, and you're involved in the opera.
Well, yes, a non-singing role, and I remember one thing that comes back to me specifically is my first speaking role. It was a short line. I was standing backstage getting ready to go on for the first time, and Placido Domingo was standing beside me, and I'm just shaking like this. You know?
You had a great voice.
He reached out and he said, "Are you a little nervous?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Don't worry about it. Just go out there and look at the top of the opera house and say your line as loud as you can."
Right.
Because there were only two of us on stage. There was the diva and myself. And it wasn't like I was out there with a lot of other people that could distract it.
Did that work for you?
It worked. Yeah, that got me over my stage fright.
You kind of block everything out up in front of you and you just do your thing.
Just did it. Forgot it.
Yeah.
Just remembered, go to the top of the opera house.
Well, listen, after that, I know you moved on to the Atlanta area. There may have been a stop in between here and there, but you wound up in the Atlanta area, and you're now involved in being a producer. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Well, I got involved in it kind of accidentally 4 years ago. A friend of mine and I went to Cumming to do an audition for the Georgia Senior Follies.
Right.
She is a dancer. Her name is Dorothy.
Right.
And she taught me into that. She said they needed an MC. Which is where you MC
right.
3 years ago,
part
time.
That was fun.
And so I auditioned for that the first year that they opened. I got the monologue together, and I wore the costume. I had a black suit and a hat and a top cane. And I got out on stage, and our director Kathy and her husband Bob and one other person on the audition crew. So I started down my monologue, which I thought was quite funny, and Kathy said, "Wait a minute," and he said, "Here, read this." I said, "Well, don't you want me to finish my monologue?" Said, "No, I want you to read this." So I read what she had, and it was like so boring, and I hadn't had any chance to finish it. So she stopped me in the middle of it. That was it. So obviously I didn't get the job as the MC, but I wanted to go to work for him.
But you became part of that.
So I called him up a day or two later after I got my reject letter, and I said, "I'd like to work. Do you need anybody that needs to go out and ask for money for the show?"
Did you tell her you were a non-singing opera star?
Yeah, but that didn't make any difference. I wasn't singing. And Dennis, you really get wound up. You're great.
Thank you, Rod. I appreciate that. This is all impromptu.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want you to tell the audience out there about the kind of acts that you book right now. Are they mostly seniors, aren't they?
They're seniors. They're people 55 and over.
Okay.
They're people like yourself. I've got you a number of shows.
Yes, you have.
And
they didn't pay anything.
Well, they did pay you something.
I'm only jerking
your
chain there,
Ron. They love to come to me because I guarantee that they're going to get paid. So I got in with this group of volunteer actors, like around 80 or to 100 of them, who are not used to getting paid. So these are people that want to go to work. Oh, can you put us to work? Let's go. So I started out that way. Dennis was probably my second client.
That's right.
And putting on a magic show. The first show was like St. Patty's Day deal. But so right now I'm doing things like a lot of dance band kind of things. We're doing like Elvis impersonators, Frank Sinatra, Neil Diamond, that kind of thing.
That's great. How do people get a hold of?
Well, it's pretty much a referral, word of mouth.
Referral.
I'm not doing any advertising.
Okay, that's where we can help you.
Right here. That's where if I can put my phone number out there, I will.
I wanted to mention one more thing, folks, before we close this segment. I've done 3 or 4 stage shows in the Atlanta area in the last few years, and Ron Young, this gentleman right here, has been kind enough to attend every one of my shows. And Ron, I want to personally tell you, you can't get a refund. But thank you for being my guest. It's been a blast.
Thanks
okay, we're going to go to commercial
My
here,
pleasure.
and I'll be back with Dan Garrett, a masterful magician, very shortly, folks. Watch our commercials.
I'm not sure what it is. I guess I'll be okay.
I'm calling the studio, Matthew. You're not shooting today.
No.
People are depending on me.
Movies bring so much joy.
Stop. It's done. Just get some rest.
Diva. He bought it. How can I handle work on a day like today? One of the worst performances of my career, and he never doubted it for a second. Hi, can I get my CRV brought up, please? I've got a lot to do today.
Roderick. Roderick.
You have excellent taste in automobiles. Life is packed with things you have to do. But sometimes you gotta live a little. Calm yourself, woman.
Matthew, you poor thing. You sound awful.
could I resist?
Look, I don't know what to tell you. He's sick. Actors get sick sometimes.
Thanks. Have a good night. Said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Get going in the all-new CR-V from Honda.
You're still here?
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Keeping It Real. We've got another guest coming up here momentarily, but I wanted to mention two things. Mr. Bird, you're out there in Hamilton, Ohio with American Hearts Radio watching tonight. I see your chats. Thank you very much. Also, Moo Girl, hi there. I love that name. Hope you're enjoying the show. To my son, Mike, would you please chat me your email address so I can tell the folks how to send us emails and get some responses? Folks, I'd like you all to send an email tonight and let us know how you like the show and where you're located. I'd be very interested to know where the folks are watching around the world. My next guest has been a master magician for many, many years. I won't date him, but he's been around the world doing his magic. Graduated, as I understand it, from Georgia Tech. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. And he has held several prestigious, that's a good word, you know, I just learned how to say that. He has held several prestigious titles in his lifetime. Dan Garrett is a magician, an author, a speaker, a mentalist, and a humorist. That's a lot to pack into one lifetime. Dan resides in the Atlanta, Georgia area and has performed magic, as I said, all over the world. He was the only Georgia magician invited to perform at the White House inaugural candlelight dinner in January of 2001. Dan is the first and only three-time winner of the Greater Magician of the Year trophy. He has served as national president of the prestigious, there's that word again, Society of American Magicians. This is the world's oldest magic society, and it is the same office held by the legendary Harry Houdini. He has been featured in multiple magic magazines over the years, and he also has a line of magic products available. It is my pleasure and yours to introduce Mr. Dan Garrett. Welcome, Dan.
Welcome. Yes. Oh, welcome, everyone. I'm glad to be here and having to follow, Daryl Rhodes from last.
Wasn't he a hoot?
Yeah. Hey, I hope you're watching, Daryl. You're the king, baby.
Yeah, he's great. Let me ask you a question. You went to Georgia Tech, but did you graduate and then start doing magic like right after graduation, or did you hold a series?
I was doing magic as a hobby since the age of 10.
Oh, wow.
And I went to Georgia Tech because I was always interested in science fiction and science,
okay.
and I got a degree in physics, which was the closest
wow.
thing to magic I could find, to be honest with you.
So do you play with chemicals and make magic happen?
Well, yeah, that's chemistry.
Were you the guy in that story I read about earlier in the show?
Yeah, that was
dynamite?
I made the dynamite. And, I didn't train the dog.
Didn't train the dog, okay. Tell us about some of the interesting places that you've performed. I know you've been around the world.
Right, yeah. I've performed on both sides of I-75.
Wow. And that's the main interstate running through Atlanta, folks, if you're not familiar with this area.
But I've been to, I performed in at least a dozen countries.
Wow.
5 of the 7 continents. Antarctica's not one of them.
Wow.
Performed that. Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Europe, all throughout Europe.
Wow.
Even the United States.
Well, you know what I love about magic is it's such a visual art. You know, I've performed for people that are from Japan, for instance, and they don't speak a word of English. And I've been doing magic myself for about 35 years, and they respond, correctly in all the right spots, and it's just a very rewarding type of thing to do. What's your specialty right now, Dan? What are your special market?
I'm actually
corporate events.
Yeah, corporate events and banquets and close-up. I do hospitality suites. In fact, I even invent things and teach other magicians. I'm embarking on a 21-stop lecture tour the rest of this year.
Wow.
Teaching magic groups and doing some college shows, too. So
super.
GP, you call me, General Practitioner.
General Practitioner. Well, what kind of magic did you bring with you this evening, Dan?
Oh, man. Is that my cue?
That's your cue. You're on.
Oh, good. I think I've got my cue.
He just happens to have a deck of cards. Oh, wait a minute. He's got more than that. He's got a magic.
That's my cue, and maybe I can have a game.
That's your cue.
Ron, maybe a little later we can rack them up.
Super.
Oh, where's the table? Okay.
What a deep pocket.
If you want me to do something really spectacular, and you sort of teased them with that earlier.
I did.
In the segment before. I'm going to produce, not disappear, I'm going to produce a genuine Toyota right here. Now, we have this TV secrets I'm revealing. We have a green screen, so you're not seeing the background that we aren't seeing.
Right.
It's not going to be a camera trick. It's going to be a real, genuine Toyota.
Okay.
And I hope we can do this in the studio without having anything.
I've not seen this, folks, so I'm going to be as surprised and amazed as you are.
Right, here
we
we
may
go.
have to adjust the camera angle just a little bit.
You won't be able to see the whole thing necessarily.
Do you need me to move? Or?
No, you're fine.
No, I'm fine. Okay.
Yeah, I will protect you.
Very good. I won't get run over by the Toyota.
On three. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Toyota.
Toyota from Star Wars.
Well, hey.
Right here, folks. You saw it first. A genuine Toyota.
Well, now you know the level of the illusions.
Right. That was fantastic.
Strong is the force in you, my friend.
Yes, I was expecting a little bigger, but that's okay. This
but
works.
it's a genuine Toyota.
That's great.
I can vouch for that.
That's great. I know that you brought something else with you tonight besides the master there.
Sure did. Maybe I could invite one of your previous guests to come participate and do.
Who looks easiest to you back there?
Let's start with Dan. We'll use both.
Dan? Okay, another Dan. Two Dans.
That's right. Dan.
You need me to move?
If you stand in between us.
Okay. I'm going to get up, folks.
Former Tech Sergeant Stryker.
Have a seat there, Dan. We're going to magitize you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I told him a story during the commercial about law enforcement.
I should get down on one knee here.
My wife will remember law enforcement showing up at my house and saying, knocking on the door and saying, "You're under arrest." And I say, "We're just kidding. We wanted to book you for a show." So, law enforcement people have a great sense of humor.
Oh, yeah.
So for you, I'm going to use your imagination for this. And if this works properly, I'm going to have a bit of imagination. That's something that I was, as a child, was fascinated by, and most kids my generation are fascinated by pocket knives. And you could have these in school back then.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, you know that I didn't fly here to the studio. I live in Atlanta, so that's proof positive. A pocket knife. I believe that desktop publishing was invented before the computer by a schoolboy with a pocket knife on a wooden desk. Desktop publishing. So, for you, Dan, I'm going to ask you. This is going to be an antenna for your imagination, pure imagination. It's impossible for me to know what you're thinking, but you're going to tell us what you're thinking. And to do that, this is a deck of cards purely imaginary. Right? I'm going to hand them to you, give them a shuffle. Now, most magicians will give a line about, "Oh, you forgot to take them out of the box."
Right.
But I won't do such silly things with you on this television show.
Okay.
Got them shuffled?
Yeah, sure.
There was a rubber band around them.
Sorry.
Just
a lot of people forget that part.
Right, now, fan the cards out towards yourself so you can see each and every card in the deck. Are there jokers in there?
Yes.
Okay, it's up to you. It's your imagination. I want you to call out any one of those cards. You have a free choice. Call it out loud and don't let me or anyone else influence it.
Any of the cards.
What'd I just say? Okay, yes, any of the cards.
There's an echo in here. I heard that twice.
Now, this is totally unrehearsed. We haven't set up anything.
Okay.
It was Ron we said. No, sorry about that. It wasn't you. Okay. I'm waiting. We're waiting on your decision.
I've picked one.
Now, what are you going to do? Text it over to me? Call it out loud.
It's the Ace of Diamonds.
Ace of Diamonds. Incredible. Would you like to change your mind?
No.
You're happy with the mind you have? I'm glad to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Ace of Diamonds. We need to mark this. So here's some marking pens. You choose a color. These are magic markers.
Okay.
Imaginary, of course.
Okay.
Which color would you like?
Red.
Very good. We'll eliminate the red. That leaves the green, the blue, and the yellow. No, I'm just kidding. You can have the red one since that's the one you picked.
Thanks.
Darn it. I want you to mark that Ace of Diamonds. Now, the way to mark it is to don't sign it the way you sign your checks. I'm actually here on the Georgia Work Release Program.
Right.
But just put a mark on there, a little X mark in the corner of the Ace of Diamonds with that red marker. Take the cap off. Take the Ace of Diamonds. Mark the corner. Mm-hmm. Take this little imaginary coin envelope. Insert your card marked into the envelope. Okay. And we're going to seal it inside a real envelope.
Okay.
I use the French method. So drop the imagination right inside there. Now, Dan's imagination is sealed inside the envelope. I used to use the French method, but now it's just easy. Just peel the strip off. And so now we have sealed in this envelope your imagination.
This is the moment of truth where we unlock the door with the key to Dan's imagination. Beyond the door is another dimension, a dimension of sight, a dimension of sound, a dimension of mind. There's a signpost up ahead. Our next stop, the Twilight Zone. You have to pick up your cues a little faster next time to be on a fast show like this. Now, inside here, I do believe you had imagination that no one could see. Now we can see an envelope, a coin envelope that was invisible before. Inside this envelope, I feel a card. So once again, your card, the one you picked out of thin air, was the 7 of what?
It was the Ace of Diamonds.
Now, somebody's going to say the 7 of Clubs one day. I'll have a miracle. But until that day comes, we're going to use this card, the Ace of Diamonds, with your red X mark in the corner.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Let's hear it out there. Everybody stand up out there in TV land. Give this man a standing ovation.
Well,
Unbelievable.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your thoughts. I'm not going to reveal those other things you were thinking.
No, his wife is watching the show.
Exactly why he was a little nervous there.
Dan, that is absolutely astounding.
Well, thank you very much.
I had no idea you were going to go there with that.
Oh, good. Well, yeah, you always thought it was a different trick.
Yes, I did. In fact, I do the other trick that you.
Right. So my name is a bit magical. If you can see, this is Dan Garrett is there, and I've done it sort of in Chrome. You can read that DANGARRETT. And I see on the monitor that's upside down. So let me fix that for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Dan Garrett.
How
That's
about
much
that?
better. Much better. Well, actually, you can read it either way. Looks like.
Somebody just chatted, I need a Dramamine after that last trick.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Okay, and you can go to my website, which is dangarrettmagic.com. So we always get the plug in before the time runs out.
Absolutely.
So are you ready to see one more? We'll bring your other guest in.
Yes,
and
definitely.
one more thing. So Ron, would you like to
Ron,
participate?
would you like to come up here?
Of course. By all means.
And
that's going to be hard to top.
Oh, well, it won't be topped. But we're going to try this. We're going to use a pack of cards that you can see. Feel free to shuffle these up. Are there any jokers in there? Well, that's good, but try not to get them out of order. It's too late.
No jokers.
Put them back in the order they were in.
Okay.
Some of the cards you might see have people's names on them and marks on them. That's because I did a trick with them where they mark the card. This is such a fast thing. It's so fast you won't be able to see it happen. And we're going to ask our director to zoom in on the shot of a couple of these once we get it done. First of all, if I have you pick a card like so, that's a trick. I hate those. So instead, you can keep it wide for just a second. I'll tell you when to come in. Instead of picking a card, look through all the cards, Ron, and just think of a card. Let me know when you get a card in your mind. Or did you get one already?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was fast. I have no idea what it is. Wouldn't it be wonderful if I asked you to visualize the image of your card and I told you the card you were thinking of? That wouldn't be a trick. That'd be real.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do that for me?
Mm-hmm.
Visualize it. I'm getting a red card. That means you're thinking of a heart or a diamond. Correct?
Correct.
I didn't mean to scare you, but that's pretty good. I'm getting a heart from you. Heart, yes?
I better sit back a little ways on this one.
Right. Was it a heart?
Absolutely.
I know. And it's even more scary if you hold out your hand. I know it was not a face card. Hold out your hand and be honest. Of all the cards in the deck, you are thinking of, Ron, this card, the 3 of Hearts. Was that it?
No.
Ron, it's my word against yours.
It's my vision against yours.
All right. Well, nobody's perfect, but I got the suit right, and you were pretty
You got
scared.
the right suit, and you got half right. It was a 6.
You're holding it.
Yeah.
With his initials on it. Unbelievable.
Oh,
I know, Ron.
When's your next show? I'll be there.
Well,
you say it was in Tokyo?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you already have the initials on there. It's not the right initials, but I want you to go ahead and put some additional mark on the 6 of Hearts, just so you know it's your card. We'll end with this. In case I have another 6 of Hearts in the deck, which I don't. See, these cards are all alike on the back, and they're all different on the front. But aren't we all?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a fast thing. This is something you can actually see. There's a strange mark, and then RM, which is someone else's initials, in fact. Ron, you weren't the first, sorry to say. Here we go. About 21 cards down, your card. Now, how do I know that's 21? I count 20 cards with my thumb, and your 6 of hearts goes 21 into the deck. See that? Am I going too fast for you, Ron?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yes.
The idea is that this card goes into the deck, and then later comes out back to the top. Can you hold out your hand for me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there it is. Too many cards. Let me cut the deck. And now we got a different card on top. Okay, so we're going to take this additional different card in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, funny, it does have your
It
initials.
is the same one. Yes.
Hold out your hand. The entire deck goes on top of the 6, and then boom, back to the top again. Takes a little longer from the bottom. Is it there?
It is.
Is it the
That's
same
the
one? Have you ever written
Yeah.
your initials on a 6 of hearts before?
No, that's the only
When
time.
you consider that this card is now unique in all the universe, there's only one card like it.
Right.
So when I put this card into the deck, I don't have any other 6s of hearts like it. It comes back to the top. I'll bend the card slightly. So I'm going to bend the card, 6 of hearts, the mark on it there. And you see the bent card here, bent card
Yes.
in the deck. Say go. And boom,
It's
back on
jumping.
top.
Right to the top.
Still has your name on it?
Yes. Same card.
Unbelievable.
Very good. Are you
Yeah,
good
same
at
card.
and people were evaluating your shuffling ability before, so if you don't mind, shuffle the cards again. I have a license to do this. Now, we have a law enforcement officer here, so he's going to appreciate the fact I have a license to do card tricks. And here it is. Okay. Now, this license says Pasteboard Police. Either I stole it off of a cop from Pasteboard, Louisiana, or I have a secret compartment here, Ron. Inside this zippered compartment, I always keep an identity list of cards. And this one happens to have a slight bend in it, Ron. You notice that bend in the
Yes.
card? Does that look like your mark on the
That's
6
it.
of hearts
Absolutely.
inside the wallet?
Whoa.
Unbelievable.
Thank you very
Dan,
much.
that was great stuff.
Right. And Ron, Ron, thank you very much for helping me out.
Great
Anytime.
stuff, Dan.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks for inviting me here, Dennis. We've had a blast.
Oh, man, I want to tell you, I have never seen anybody perform my entire old act as well as you have tonight.
So it's older than you think.
Yes, I am impressed.
Well, you've
Very
heard the
much
hand
impressed.
is quicker than the eye. haven't you?
Absolutely.
If you don't believe me, ask Evander Holyfield.
Yes.
No, didn't he say the mouth is quicker than the ear? Well, it's the same difference.
Something like that. Oh, wow. This has just been a great show tonight, folks. It has gone by so extremely fast. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Please tell your friends about it every Tuesday night, 7:15. I'll have some of the most entertaining guests and interesting guests you can possibly imagine. And please be part of our family going forward. Check out American Hearts Radio. Email us at www.harmonybooking.com and let us know where you're watching from, what state. God bless you all. See you next week. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. We would like to give thanks to all our guests and sponsors. Also, special thanks to L. Burrows, Mimi Johnson, the Cosgrove family, Earl Hayes, Angie Martin, Daryl Rhodes, and our network of friends. Become a sponsor. Call 904-229-8150 or email us at harmonybooking@hotmail.com. We'll see you next week on Keeping It Real with Dennis Aloia on harmonybooking.com or AmericanHeartsRadio.com. Thank you very much, and God bless.
When I saw you standing there, beautiful eyes and long brown hair, your smile was so inviting. I thought I might just take a chance to step for you that day, but you had to keep the truth away. You thought I couldn't handle the bags you brought with you, but oh, what must I do to make you feel secure that my love is all you